Attack the evil that is within yourself rather than attacking the evil that is in others. Listen to your conscience. 10. Do the right thing no matter the cost. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Thinking that someone else can make you happy or unhappy is ridiculous. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Strive to be the man you want your daughter to marry. Never bend your head, always hold it high, look the world straight in the eye. Marrying is not at all difficult. It is difficult to be married. Man was born free, and he is everywhere in chains. Those who think themselves the masters of others are indeed greater slaves than they. Nothing is irreplaceable. Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. One day you'll thank yourself for never giving up. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. Education and knowing things mean nothing if you're not willing to put in the effort and use what you know. You're never too old to cut people out of your life. It's best to leave things at the right time. Otherwise, you are left with too many regrets and complaints. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not yet the end. Don't hold your breath on people doing the right or ethical thing. People make decisions based on self-interests, not on what is right. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Many people know they are unhappy, but even more people don't know they are happy. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. The only thing constant in this world is change. You are stronger than you think. You have gotten through every bad day in your life, and you are undefeated. You take your power back by being responsible for your life. Don't focus on perfection or control. You are not in control of anything, and there is no such thing as perfection. Only two things we'll regret on deathbed: that we are little loved and little traveled. Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. Don't be afraid to give up the good for the great. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Quietly work. Let success speak up. If we all did the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Most so-called failures are only temporary defeats. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human can alter his life by altering his attitude. The more distant you are, the more you can see the whole picture. Dreams happen when you're asleep. Hope happens when you dream while you're awake. Sometimes you can make all the right choices and then have to sit there and watch them all crumble around you. You just have to pick up the pieces and keep moving. It is better to make approximately correct decisions than to make a precise mistake. Life is an experiment in which you may fail or succeed. Explore more, expect less. The best view comes after the hardest climb. You have to live the life you want to live. Stay strong even when things begin to fall apart. Stay strong. You change the world by being yourself. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all of the power we need inside ourselves already. Don't be discouraged. It's often the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. Great things never come from comfort zones. You have to walk and create the way. By your walking, you will not find a ready-made path. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." Once you realize you deserve a bright future, letting go of your dark past is the best choice you will ever make. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. If you punish the truth, expect to be lied to. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. If it can be fixed, why are you complaining? If it can't be fixed, why are you complaining? The fear you don't confront becomes your limit. If you think you were too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. You spend your first 20 years worrying what people think about you. You spend your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you. You spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. People often confuse press with responsibility. In this life, you don't have to prove anything to anyone but yourself. You need to have faith in yourself. You can say and do all the right things, but will bump heads regardless. Don't rely on others to tell you how to be happy or what makes a good life. It's up to you to follow your heart and find happiness from there. Hard times don't create heroes. It is during the hard times when the hero within us is revealed. If you have to keep asking yourself if something is worth it, then maybe it's not. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Without rain, nothing grows. Learn to embrace the storm of your life. Listen carefully, son, and remember this. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. Things never happen the same way twice. Nothing that life has to offer is worth the price of worrying. The good life is not one immune to sadness, but one in which suffering contributes to our development. The truth is everyone is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for. One negligible action can have devastating consequences. This will miraculously transform your whole life. If you're not resilient by now, life is only going to get tougher for you. Got to love yourself before you can love others. Listen to your conscience and do the right thing no matter the cost. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. If you put her on a pedestal, she has no choice but to look down on you. The past is just a story we tell ourselves. The past is your anchor. Do not chase people who are walking out of your life. Prosperity is not without many fears and disasters, and adversity is not without comforts and hopes. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Nothing in your life will change unless you change. Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. Only two things we'll regret on deathbed: that we are little loved and little traveled. Let others' actions speak for them. People will show you far more than they will tell you. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Three things never come back: time, word, and opportunity. Therefore, do not waste time, choose words, and do not miss the opportunity. Love you will find only where you may show yourself weak without provoking strength. If you don't learn to laugh at trouble, you won't have anything to laugh at when you're old. Your heart will tell you where to go. Your head will guide you there safely. Happiness is nothing more than good health and a bad memory. Use one without the other and you'll get lost. Our view of the world is truly shaped by what we decide to hear. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. A low soul always presupposes the lowest motives for noble deeds. Don't wish for it, work for it. Kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Nothing is permanent. Why should you feel anger at the world as if the world would notice? Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Your greatest self has been waiting your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer. Socializing is just like any skill. You need to practice before you're good at it. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I'm about to criticize? Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. If you want to be trusted, be honest. You can win a lot in life just by being the last one to give up. Those who bring sunshine into the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. Determined to live fully and continually learn. Never be so kind you forget to be clever, and never be so clever you forget to be kind. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. You will never be who you want to be until you are happy with who you are. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. Stop waiting for the right time. Time isn't waiting for you. The chief trick to making good mistakes is not to hide them, especially not from yourself. We feel guilty when we no longer want to associate with old friends who have not changed, but this is the price and marker of growth. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Don't stress yourself too much, because no matter how bad the situation is, it will change. The hard work of the future will be pushing buttons. A happy marriage is a long conversation which always seems to short. There is no quick and easy way to achieve or attain something valuable and hard-earned. Anyone else who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Following a path is easy. Creating a new one can be painful, but it will lead you to new places. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Determined to live fully and continually learn. We are not a product of what has happened to us in our past. We have the power of choice. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. If you don't, other people will have no problems walking all over you. No matter what good you do to people, they will only remember your mistakes. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. If you're trying to break a habit, don't say this is the last time I'm doing it to yourself. Instead, say this is the first time I'm not doing it. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. What if I told you that 10 years from now your life would be exactly the same? I doubt you'd be happy. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. The hard is what makes it great. If there was nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Either change yourself or change your environment, or both. Don't show your weaknesses. People will enjoy the show. Don't be weak in front of them. At some point you will realize no one else has a say in your life unless you let them. If you're not resilient, by now life is only going to get tougher for you. Judge no one, just improve yourself. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. A wise man can learn from his enemies more than a fool from his friends. Worrying about losing is losing before you begin. Reflection and the gaining of knowledge is power. Without the means of either, you are powerless. Only those who can afford not to lie are free. You can say and do all the right things, but will bump heads regardless. Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful part of us. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. You are likely to fall when you stop paddling your bicycle. Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. Raise your sail and begin. Accept what you can't change. Change what you can't accept. The truth is everyone is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Respond intelligently even to unintelligent treatment. It's better to have for $180 in a wallet that cost $20 than to have $20 in a wallet that cost for $180. Don't be scared because you don't have all the answers right away. You will learn through your experiences and find your own way to happiness. Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten. Progress, not perfection. Push yourself to be your best. No one else is going to do it for you. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. To give out someone else's secret is a betrayal. To give out yours is stupidity. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. We feel guilty when we no longer want to associate with old friends who have not changed, but this is the price and marker of growth. It is not what you say out of your mouth that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the most power. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Take a deep breath. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Do not postpone joy for the sake of the future. The morrow is promised to no one. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. Make each day your masterpiece. Your education is never complete. Don't wait for something good to happen. Realize that there are no participation trophies in life. Go out and do something for yourself. Take the risk or lose the chance. They've promised that dreams can come true, but forgot to mention that nightmares are dreams too. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. When nothing can go wrong, it will. As you improve, you'll find yourself more disappointed with those around you. To avoid this, be hard on yourself, but understanding of others. It's not who you think you are that holds you back, it's who you think you're not. The way of truth is like a great road. It is not difficult to know it. The evil is only that men will not seek it. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Your past does not equal your future. Rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Letting go is very hard, but it's the best thing to do. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. If it is important to you, you will find a way, not an excuse. Contentment is not the fulfillment of what you want, but the realization of how much you already have. The calmer you are, the clearer you think. You cannot change what you are, only what you do. Don't do anything that you will have to lie about later. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. It's your road and yours alone. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. The regret of putting first those who don't put you first make your life painful. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." You must allow it to teach you. Writing down is the best way to remember. Pause this video and comment below your favorite quotes. Stop trying to be happy. You can't be happy all the time, and it's okay. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Laws are like cobwebs which may catch small flies, but let wasps and hornets break through. How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Money is a great servant, but a bad master. In taking revenge, a man is but even with his enemy, but in passing it over, he is superior. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. The mind is everything what you think you become. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Never take someone's feelings for granted. You never know how much courage they took to share them. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back to the same box. Don't doubt yourself. That's what haters are for. You have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life. Be afraid, but do it anyway. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. "20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did." Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. There is only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. Never jump to conclusions. Be discerning and let people show you their true colors. While we are postponing, life speeds by. The only person who's ever going to remember your hard work is you, not this company, not your boss, only you. It's not worth killing yourself over a company that'll replace you in 2 days if you're gone. It's better to have for $180 in a wallet that costs $20 than to have $20 in a wallet that costs for $180. Rehearsing situations in your head is a waste of time. The situation will always be different than anything your imagination will come up with. Your struggle is part of your story. Don't give up. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. Don't give up. You are closer than you think. You will meet people who you just can't get along with, no matter how correct you come. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today. The most massive characters are seared with scars. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. A clear vision, backed by definite plans, gives you a tremendous feeling of confidence and personal power. Why let go of yesterday? Because yesterday has already let go of you. The past cannot be changed. The future is yet in your power. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. You are always one decision away from a totally different life. No matter how many people you surround yourself with, you will always be alone. Don't let emotions affect your life, no matter if those emotions are your own or someone else's. Excuses make today easier, but tomorrow harder. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easier. You can't understand everything immediately. Sometimes you need to wait. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied too many. Control your emotions, or they will control you. One day or day one, you decide. Never hurt yourself to heal others. A habit is not a need. Your mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Never hurt others to heal yourself. To reach somewhere, you need to leave something behind. Most people are only nice when things don't matter. Don't prepare the road for your kids, prepare your kids for the road. Live life at your own pace. Where your fear is, there is your task. Experience is the best teacher. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Don't worry about controlling your emotions, control your actions. You measure the size of the accomplishment by the obstacles you had to overcome to reach your goals. The only way to achieve the impossible is to believe it is possible. The good life is not one immune to sadness, but one in which suffering contributes to our development. If you don't, other people will have no problems walking all over you. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. Your life won't go as planned, and trust me, it's a good thing. Don't just love yourself, have respect for yourself. Be careful the stories you're telling yourself about your current circumstances. Whatever the mind can think and perceive, it can achieve. Be teachable, you're not always right. The best way to gain self-confidence is to do what you are afraid to do. It's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. One way to get the most out of life is to look upon it as an adventure. The clever are not so much looking for loneliness as they avoid the fuss created by fools. Never share your problems with friends before finding a solution, no matter how challenging it is. Every person is a prison and also a hiding place. Don't make someone a priority in your life when they don't do the same for you. Don't just love yourself. Have respect for yourself. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Whoever attaches a lot of value to the opinions of others pays them too much honor. You cannot be afraid to disappoint people. The days are long, but the years are short. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. All you have is the now and what you do with it. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. If you are impatient, life will always be harder. Patience can do wonders. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land. There is no other life but this. Sometimes the place you are used to is not the place you belong. Work like there is someone working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. Three o'clock is always too late or too early for anything you want to do. You have to walk and create the way by your walking. You will not find a ready-made path. For every reason it's not possible, there are hundreds of people who have faced the same circumstances and succeeded. The trouble is if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. You are the only person that can simultaneously be your best friend and your worst enemy, and you can choose which one is more prevalent. A head full of negative thoughts has no space for positive ones. You will meet people who you just can't get along with, no matter how correct you come. You can say and do all the right things, but will bump heads regardless. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. We are not reached by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. If you blame it on someone else, don't expect it to get better. If you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you will see obstacles. You won't always be able to help someone change for the better. If you keep trying, there will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change. There is meaning in every journey that is unknown to the traveler. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Happiness is a butterfly, which, when pursued, is always beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may light up. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Remember 5 years ago, you dreamed about being where you are now. Think about it. To know who your true friends are, look for the ones who say good things behind your back and bad things to your face. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. Last but not least, you are here for a reason that you may not know. But be patient, you beat 1,000,000,000 odds by being here. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. If it makes you nervous, you're doing it right. If you don't value your time, neither will others. It's not worth killing yourself over a company that'll replace you in 2 days if you're gone. I don't believe you have to be better than everybody else. I believe you have to be better than you ever thought you could be. Life shrinks or expands in the proportion to one's courage. Do not follow where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail. Don't show your weaknesses. People will enjoy the show. Don't be weak in front of them. Change the world by being yourself. All we are is the result of all we have thought. Never marry anyone without living with them first. Your wound is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. There are more things likely to frighten us than to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Character is much easier kept than recovered. Every person is a prison and also a hiding place. Being honest with yourself and responsible will make you breathe. Do not take life so seriously, you will never get out of it alive. We are not a product of what has happened to us in our past. We have the power of choice. Say please and thank you often. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did." Control your thoughts, or your thoughts will control you. An evil person cannot be happy, for being alone with himself, he remains alone with the villain. You must let the pain visit. The best way out is always through. Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. You may have had unfair things happen to you, but the depth of your pain is an indication of the height of your future. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. I say luck is when an opportunity comes along and you are prepared for it. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. Following a path is easy. Creating a new one can be painful, but it will lead you to new places. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. No matter how nice or respectful you are, some people will still talk bad about you behind your back. Friends can still screw you over without doing so intentionally. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go, no one else. Beneath the sorrow is hope. The days are long, but the years are short. Your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it empties today of its strength. Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. Close some doors today not because of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but simply because they lead you nowhere. If you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, you're fooling yourself. Progress is impossible without change. Almost every successful person begins with the belief the future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. If all our problems were cards and we could lay them out on the table, I bet you'd pick your own back up. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. What we learn from history is that no one learns from history. The most important thing is to look ahead. Enjoy every bit of your life to the fullest. Your compromises and sacrifices will be rewarded. It's easier to get into a thing than out of it. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. Your progress does not need to be seen or validated by others to be real. Life is a shipwreck, but we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats. Those that are most slow in making a promise are the most faithful in the performance of it. Whatever the mind can think and perceive, it can achieve. Except for our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. Never give up on what you really want to do. If you're trying to break a habit, don't say this is the last time I'm doing it to yourself. Instead, say this is the first time I'm not doing it. Respect yourselves and others will respect you. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. Always work with it, not against it. Don't make decisions when you're angry. Don't make promises when you're happy. If you're right but you're obnoxious about it, people won't see you as the good guy. Bad days build better days. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. Nothing is irreplaceable. The most harmful thing is wanting to avoid mistakes. Use one without the other and you'll get lost. Fear is just excitement in need of an attitude adjustment. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Remember, no effort that we make to attain something beautiful is ever lost. You can overcome bad habits only today, not tomorrow. Do more things that make you forget to check your phone. You cannot be afraid to disappoint people. You have to live the life you want to live. Be wary of the man who urges an action in which he himself incurs no risk. You don't need more time, you need less distractions. Don't ever let the same people disappoint you twice. Hard times may have held you down, but they will not last forever. When all is said and done, you will be increased. Being deluded and scared will make you suffocate. Being honest with yourself and responsible will make you breathe. Life is what we make it. Always has been, always will be. Being weak isn't the problem. The problem is your weak mentality refusing to fix it. Stop telling people more than they need to know. Strong people have a strong sense of self-worth and self-awareness. They don't need the approval of others. Life isn't something you possess, it's something you take part in. Everywhere a man blames nature and fate, yet his fate is mostly but the echo of his character and passion, his mistakes and his weaknesses. The past is history, the future is a mystery, the here and now is a gift. That is why it's called the present. Life can only be understood backward. when it must be lived forwards. Whatever is causing you worrying or pain right now won't cause you worrying or pain forever. Things change with time, and it will pass. The calmer you are, the clearer you think. If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you are going to run out of gas. To lead people, follow them. An intelligent person always hides three things about himself: his weaknesses, his sources of wisdom, and his true aspirations. Never wrestle with a pig. You both will get dirty, but the pig likes it. Don't experience life. Do not carry expectations on how it should be. It could always be worse. You must let the pain visit. Your tomorrow may be way different from your today if you try. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Say no more than you wish to have said. Do no less than what you wish you had done. Your education is never complete. Determined to live fully and continually learn. Any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomforts. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Your own resolution to succeed is more important than any others. The time you kill does not die without avenging itself. There is only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. If you're serious about changing your life, you'll find a way. If you're not, you'll find an excuse. Be afraid, but do it anyway. If you can drop anything from your world, drop the ego. Do not take life so seriously. You will never get out of it alive. Chasing happiness will lead you to misery until you realize that happiness is the way. My friend is he who will tell me my faults in private. A healthy man wants 1,000 things. A sick man only wants one. Your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. Don't wait to reach your goal to be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself every step you take. You make the best decisions when in pain, because the fear of experiencing the same pain again is the strongest motivator. Wisdom is not wisdom when it is derived from books alone. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It is yours. Life has many different chapters for us. One bad chapter doesn't mean it's the end of the book. Your self-respect has to be stronger than your feelings. The only time you should look into someone else's bowl is to make sure they have enough. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow.